Early in the 21st century, the Tyrell Corporation advanced robot evolution into the Nexus phase, a being virtually identical to a human, known as a replicant. The Nexus 6 replicants were superior in strength and agility, and at least equal in intelligence to the genetic engineers who created them. Replicants were used off-world as slave labor in the hazardous exploration and colonization of other planets. After a bloody mutiny by a Nexus 6 combat team in an off-world colony, replicants were declared illegal on Earth, under penalty of death. Special police squads, Blade Runner units, had orders to kill, upon detection, any trespassing replicant. This was not called execution. It was called retirement. Welcome back to Effing It Up. Steal the opening crawl from Blade Runner? Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I did.
From the new movie or the old one?
I think it's the old one.
It was the 1980s. They liked their opening crawls.
You love the opening crawls. It was the 80s.
And believe me, you won't forget that.
Sorry, I was waiting for the children to start barking.
Yeah.
Hang
it's a
on.
starters. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please interrupt me. No. Interrupt. No. I don't need to talk.
No, I'll do that later.
Why don't you do the intro?
I don't wanna.
Go for it. Look into the camera.
Welcome back to our podcast where we talk about...
How many times have you listened to me? Do you just tune me out every time I do the intro?
Honestly, I just hear like a crackling sound. If it's not my voice, I'm not listening, so...
Why I ought. Welcome back, feral listeners. See, that's how you do it.
That was good. That was professional.
This week, we are talking about Blade Runner. We are talking about the Blade Runner from 1983, if I'm correct. I'm bad with dates. And Blade Runner 2049, which was made in 2017, not 2049. The dates really get all mixed up in here. But
yeah, a lot of numbers to keep track of.
A lot of numbers. A lot of science, a lot of math, a little too much for me, but that's okay. We're just gonna buckle up and get into it as best we can.
All right, are we gonna split these up by movie this time, or how are we doing this?
Probably just what we love and what we hate.
Okay. Oh, well, as we've been doing that.
As we've been.
All right.
I'll do a quick summary real quick, because I wrote a beautiful non-AI summary. I did chug a lot of water while I was doing the summary, though, so...
All right, well...
Sorry, Earth.
I can hear the trees screaming in the distance. All right, let's hear this summary. Non-AI.
Rick Deckard is a Blade Runner, but a Blade Runner who has become deeply uncomfortable with his chosen profession of replicant execution. He is tasked to bring in a group of escaped replicants who pose an immediate threat to the CEO of the infamous Tyrell Corporation. Deckard finds this task increasingly difficult, especially as he begins to form a bond with Rachel, a beautiful woman who, up until meeting Deckard, had no idea that she was a being created by the Tyrell Corporation. Once again, we are sucked back into the discussion of what truly defines the idea of humanity and souls.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Despite all I heard was crackling sound. Yeah, no, that's good.
Laurel.
Yeah.
What did you love about the old Blade Runner?
It looked pretty. Here's what I'll say for Blade Runner 2019, the old one, set in 2019. I don't remember. You said 1983.
Hang on. When was it filmed?
Hang
no,
on,
2019 I think is correct, but
okay.
I was going with when it was filmed because I have no idea. Set in 2019, oof.
Yeah. Oof, indeed.
Oof, big oof.
Here's what I'll say about Blade Runner. It inspired a lot of movies and shows and games that I like.
That's a win.
That's a win.
A win's a win.
Now, do I think you should watch Blade Runner? I think that instead you should play Detroit Become Human. Fantastic game. Similar themes. Cyberpunk setting. Mm-hmm. Superior in every way. And no, I don't think you should watch Blade Runner.
Do you want to hear my my take?
Yeah, Maya, what did you love about Blade Runner?
Young Harrison Ford. Woof.
Ew, he's so boring.
My brain cannot comprehend the character. Hang on. You're right. Let me back up here. You're right. Rick Deckard is the most saltine crackers amongst all crackers.
He has zero expression.
He has nothing going for him.
No emotion.
Nothing going for him whatsoever. But I can't separate it from the fact that he is hot young Harrison Ford.
Just watch Star Wars instead.
Or Indiana Jones.
Or Indiana Jones instead. Yeah. Or any of the other movies.
Any of the other movies Harrison Ford is in. But, like, I see young Harrison Ford, I'm like, good for me.
Good for me.
Good for me. This is a good choice I made. No, I agree with you. I think that the cyberpunk setting is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The lighting in the movie,
yes.
the design, the Japanese or Eastern Asian influence in the city, I think is really fun. I wish they treated the characters with that ethnicity with a little more respect. That would have been asking too much.
No, that's asking too much.
That's asking way too much.
The only characters we care about are the white men.
Obviously.
They're the only ones who get respect. Not nuance, because they don't have that.
No, they don't have that. That's for sure.
Except for, gosh darn it, I didn't write down the character names and I won't remember.
Who are you thinking about?
The only character I cared about in that movie.
Rachel?
No.
Oh.
Didn't care about her.
Pris? The tiny one?
Pris? No, she's cool, but no. Didn't really
Leon?
care about her. Who's Leon?
Wait, I think his name was Leon. I also forgot.
Hang on. Let me just... And now for the Googling things.
For your favorite part of our show. Laurel is Googling. Do, 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 do.
Wow. Whoa.
Do, 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 do.
This is adding a certain level of, like, pressure.
Do, 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 do.
No. Roy Batty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the only one I cared about.
Roy Batty.
He's
more like Roy Batty. Am I right?
You're so stupid. No, you're not right.
No, he's horrifying.
No, I love him so much.
Great performance.
Great performance. Incredible performance. Actual nuanced performance. The only character that I was rooting for, I wanted him to win. I wanted everyone else to die. The end.
Yeah.
He was right all along.
He absolutely was right. I was just going to say, I don't disagree with you at all, but I do. I really like Rachel.
Yeah, she's okay.
I actually, upon rewatching it, she resonated a lot more with me the second time.
The actress I thought she did a really good performance.
She's her little transatlantic accent too.
Yeah, she just has this like elegance and this like, I don't know.
Like she kind of reminds me of Effie Trinket in the Hunger Games.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
It kind of inspired like her look a little bit.
Yeah, she has this like inner pride.
Yes.
That's not quite the right word, but I can't find the word I'm looking for. But yeah, she just like I like
poise.
Poise.
There we go.
What an excellent word.
So much poise, and we'll get to
bearing.
We'll get to the things that you hate, but I think her chemistry with Rick is not awful. Her chemistry with Harrison Ford, writing wise, no, bad chemistry. But in terms of presence together when they're on screen, I think it's pretty good. I know. We're gonna get to it. We are going to get to it. We're gonna get to it, Laurel. We're talking about the things we like right now.
All right.
Calm down.
I'm behaving. Okay.
Never tell a woman to calm down. Don't do that.
Calm down. I'll calm down.
This was my one other thing. I'm so sorry. I crashed out. Short-circuited. Maybe I'm a replicant.
Your time. No, replicants would be. They wouldn't. All of this that we're doing right now, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They're better than us.
Yeah, they are better than us. We talked about the design. Like almost every design choice in the film I loved, but especially loved the fact that replicants' eyes look like the reflection of a camera lens.
Yeah, that's a cool touch.
I'm like, that, they didn't need to go that hard, but it just is so subtle and it sells it every time for me.
Bring up the question, though, that if we as the audience can quickly recognize a replicant through the way their eyes reflect, why don't they just shine a light in their eyes and be like, all right, replicant.
Because they're stupid, Laurel, and we are smart.
Okay.
They didn't... If they did that, they wouldn't get to do the Voight-Kampff test that was in the book.
Yeah. I never finished that book.
Which is a really stupid test.
I could not finish the book.
Fun fact, I didn't realize that the infamous "was written by a man" line, "she had breasts that smile," came from Android's...
He lives up to his name, that's all I'm going to say.
Android's Stream of Electric Sheep. I was like... Dang it, because I really like the concept of replicants. But man, is this man just reprehensible.
I won't read Heinlein. I won't read Dick. I won't read... That's his name. That is his name.
Listen,
and I don't read...
I'm not asking you to read Dick ever. Gosh. Don't worry.
Wait, there's another one that I hate. But no, those are the two that come to mind immediately. I hate both of them. I will not read their stuff.
Tolstoy?
Actually, I haven't even tried Tolstoy.
I
was thinking of classic sci-fi writers.
Who wrote Catcher? Oh, sci-fi writers.
Sci-fi writers.
Because I was like Catcher in the Rye.
I think there's another one that's like a really famous sci-fi writer that I just can't stand. There's also that fantasy writer that got canceled recently. What's that guy? From Good Omens.
Neil Gaiman?
Pratchett. Yeah, Neil Gaiman. You can tell. They self-report in their writing, okay?
I know.
You can just tell. And I'm putting Dick and Heinlein into that little category.
Yeah, they're going in the bucket.
Self-reported bucket.
Put them in the bucket.
Put them in the bucket. No more smiling breasts. The only, I don't really, there wasn't actually much that I liked about it other than like...
I didn't think you would. As I was watching it, I was like...
I was kind of sad because it's such a famous movie and it's sci-fi and I was like, ooh, like cyberpunk. I love cyberpunk. I mean, the vibes are impeccable. The synth music, beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous.
The visuals, I loved Deckard's apartment. I thought was just like beautiful, like cinematic noir cyberpunk. You know.
The noir of it all. The noir of it all. That was good. It took me back. It did take me back to watching Chinatown for the first time, but I didn't have to endure Jack Nicholson mugging everywhere. So I did enjoy, even though Harrison Ford's Rick Deckard was really fucking boring.
He's so boring.
At least I didn't have to deal with Jack Nicholson.
Every time he started monologuing, not monologuing, voiceover monologuing. I was like, oh, shut up.
It was like,
no one will ever hire Harrison Ford to read an audiobook. Bro has zero expression, zero, like, there's no shape to anything he's saying. It's just flat. And I love Harrison Ford in Star Wars, but anyway.
Can we talk about the things we loved about the new movie real quick?
Some people might say that I haven't seen the new one. Now, who am I?
I would say that, but that's because I watched the new one all the way through. And I texted you and I said, quite frankly, I don't think you should watch this.
And I both appreciate and respect.
So I told you to watch The CinemaSins.
Some might say that I haven't seen the movie and I've only watched The CinemaSins.
But that would be because I told you to.
And some might say it's because Maya told me to. Now, whether these people are correct or not, it's not for me to verify or deny.
Yeah.
So what did you love?
From watching CinemaSins, was there anything that you noticed that you were like, oh, that's cool?
I mean, it was pretty.
Good, because that's what I have to say about it. It was pretty. It was a lot more sterile than the original Blade Runner. Like, I was like, there's almost too much lighting.
Oh, yeah, it's very bright compared. Yeah.
It didn't capture the desolate griminess of the original Blade Runner, which I don't think it was trying to. It was a different vibe, but...
It was a different type of cyberpunk, you're right.
Yeah.
I'll say I do think that Ryan Gosling, also, he plays a replicant.
Correct.
He also has a very, like, replicant sort of facade, but it felt like there was more emotion in his performance than in Harrison Ford's performance.
I think Ryan Gosling is a great actor. I think there was something that was gained from having the lead character be a replicant. I think that was an interesting exploration.
Yeah.
And, oh, look at that. That's where my notes end in things I loved about the new movie.
Gosh.
Real quick, before I get into Blade Runner 2049, which is my new Roman Empire, let's talk about the things we hate about the old one.
Okay, cool, because I have a few.
Yeah. For me, I said first and foremost the racism. Not to the replicants, but every other culture that's not white, and the way they dropped the hard R word.
Oh, yeah.
Which was reprehensible. I also said the constant narration, Rick Deckard's character, Rachel's hair rolls, pretty much everyone who isn't Deckard, Rachel, or the replicants is boring or racist caricature. And then there's the obvious, but I'm going to let you discuss the obvious because I know you're the most mad about
I was like,
it.
are we going into this in our fun little cutesy podcast?
No, we can go into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't ever know anything about this movie other than that it was a classic cyberpunk film. I wasn't expecting the rape.
Yeah.
And in case you didn't know, rape is bad.
It's very bad.
It's bad. And that was our hero perpetrating that on the love interest.
Yep.
Now, some people, I went onto the internets because I was like, did that just happen?
Did that bother anybody else?
Did that bother anybody else?
Yeah.
And like people are on there arguing that, oh, well, in the original script, it's all about him like helping her like trust her feeling. I'm like, that's not what was conveyed. That's not what was expressed.
No.
That was not consent.
No.
It was a man exerting his
force
on a woman in a space that was his space. She didn't feel safe there.
Nope.
Preventing her from leaving and then forcing her to have physical relationship with him. Holy crap.
A forced yes, or a coerced yes is not a yes.
It's not a yes.
Despite the fact, and I'm not going to hate on anybody who likes to read the bodice ripper novels or dark fantasy. I'm not gonna yuck your yum if you're like, sometimes I just want to be thrown around a little bit. That's your jam. What I am going to yuck is that being portrayed as romantic in a movie.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be love interests.
Yeah.
They never once portray it as a bad thing that he forced himself on her.
No, because they don't. Because Ridley Scott, I'm sure, did not see it that way.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't, and probably didn't either any of the
male writers on the movie.
The male writers, the male directors, the male cinematographers,
the male costume designers.
I just want to know what No, I don't want to know.
No, we don't want to know.
I know enough. I know more than I would like to.
Yep.
I just wasn't ready for that.
Yes, and I apologize because I also did not remember that being in there.
In all of the 5,000 different edits he released, he couldn't do anything about that scene.
Nope. Didn't want to take that one again.
Didn't want to take that away from us.
He was like, this is hot. And we're like, no.
No. You can release 500 different endings of this film, but you can't, edit out the rape scene.
No, apparently not. Apparently that was integral to the plot.
I think we should edit him out of Hollywood.
Existence? Oh, or Hollywood.
That works too.
My bad.
That's a 2-for-1 kind of deal. That's a 2-for-1. Pissed me off. Anyway.
I'm not going to... We're going to call that a problem.
It's a problem.
We're going to say what it is. We're going to say it's a problem. We are going to look at Ridley Scott's work from then until now and look at the current work that he is making and say that we hope that he has grown from his mistakes. And Laurel's really mad.
I am kind of mad.
Who has learned, because I would say his current work does not reflect.
I don't know what other movies he's made. Is he the alien guy?
Alien, The Martian.
He did The Martian? Mm-hmm. Pissing me off. What do you mean he did The Martian? You know why there wasn't any rape in that movie? There weren't any women in that movie. I don't want to care about Ridley Scott. I don't want to think about him. I don't want to assess whether he's grown as a human being who views women as people who should have consent and free will. In fact, goodbye. I'm going to pretend someone else directed The Martian because I like that movie. I'll watch Alien someday, especially since I'm on an X-Men kick right now and I know what's-his-face Fassbender's in one of those films.
Listen to me.
What?
I'm
listening.
not trying to ruin things for you.
What?
But we can't cancel Ridley Scott.
Why not?
Because I have someone else that I need to cancel.
Oh, no. We can cancel more than one person.
We can cancel more than one person, but if we're looking at the crimes next to each other,
okay.
one person deserves 1 year in prison and another person deserves life.
Oh gosh, I'm scared. All right, this is great. We'll just put them both on the list, but we can move one up or down.
Yes, I'm just saying if we're sentencing, like I think Ridley should get 2 years.
All right. Okay, I'm scared.
Yeah. Ha.
So, Maya.
Let's talk, guys, about Blade Runner 2049.
I'm buckled in.
I have a lot of notes about Blade Runner 2049.
That is a lot of notes.
This is a lot of notes. And they kind of just like continue to progress into a lot. And Laurel is fully right to be upset by the scene in the original Blade Runner. And I'm not making excuses for that scene. Apart from, I could say, hey, maybe it was the 80s of it all, and maybe they had a lot of cocaine. But we're going to talk about a movie that was made in 2017.
I'm so scared.
You should be scared. First couple, problems that I have in here are the fact that it looks less good than the original Blade Runner. Jared Leto's in it.
Ew. Oh, sorry.
Instant no.
Instant ick.
Instant ick. The worst CGI snow that I've ever seen in my life.
Interesting.
So bad that Mylan pointed it out and was like, is that supposed to be snow? God knows what the budget was on this movie.
I was going to say, they spent their special effects on hologram girlfriends.
Speaking of hologram girlfriends, blatant sexualization that is somehow worse in 2017 than in 1983. Like, guys, I'm going to go down through a list of sins that this movie committed against women.
I'm scared.
Under the guise of being more progressive and powerful.
Ew.
Manic pixie dream girl holographic girlfriend whose name is Joy, J-O-I, whose name is an acronym for something really gross on pornography sites. Her only personality trait being obsessed with K and becoming human so she can fuck K. Rachel from the original, beautiful, poised Rachel. Rachel's dead from childbirth. She becomes a sacrificial figure to bring new life into the world. One of the 5 female characters in this movie is a sex worker who also has sex with Kay. Robin Wright, the only character who seemed to have agency as like the morally gray police officer, also wants to fuck Kay. Literally every single damn woman wanting to fuck Kay. Jared Leto's personal assistant / sex slave robot, wrapping the camera around a trembling naked woman only to slice open her uterus with a scalpel and let her bleed out.
Oh.
2 of the women who are murdered in this movie are murdered with C-section cuts.
Jeez.
Because they were trying to make a point about childbirth and you being human because you're able to have a baby.
Oh, this is
that was the thesis in this movie. I don't know if Dennis thinks he's being fucking clever by being like, look, I had them murdered with the C-section cuts. Can you tell that the whole point of life is to bear children? The naked woman statues everywhere.
Ew, why?
Everywhere. Holographic giant naked girlfriend. Just director's kinks right and left. And from my research, everybody's gonna hate this episode so much.
I hope they do.
It's just gonna be me yelling.
They do. I hope they burn up.
From my research, it appears that Denis Villeneuve is just a more talented Joss Whedon who doesn't realize how obvious it is that all of his work is just one version after another of the Madonna whore complex.
This absolutely is giving Joss Whedon, you're right.
Promoting the idea that he's a girl's girl, a real feminist, that he wants to feature women as characters. But you know what would actually allow the opportunity for women to have a role to play outside of masculinized dominant or manic pixie dream girl, damsel, or mother? Having a fucking woman work on your goddamn screenplay!
That's going too far.
I need to get that out.
I'm so glad I didn't watch this movie.
This is the most angry I have been while watching a movie in a long time.
It sounds reprehensible.
It was disgusting. I was just expecting a less grimy version of Blade Runner. I was expecting it to be more polished and, still have some of the disturbing aspects of the original, but they didn't explore the concept of replicants. Their concept of humanity was childbirth. Literally, it was, she's more human than us because she gave birth to a baby, and every other replicant is worthless because they can't have a baby.
Ew.
Because Jared Leto, who's the new evil CEO, wants to be able to have replicants that can reproduce so he can just keep making a super army.
Okay, so first of all, that diminishes women to roles of sex supplier or
mother,
life provider.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's insulting to real life human women who are infertile and want to have children. Oh, they're worthless because they can't. And third of all, it is just like, it's creepy. It's gross. You're fixating on something really disturbing.
I was like, oh, every character has been reduced to a womb.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Does your womb have a baby in it or not? That's it. The men don't do fucking anything.
Bro is praying for The Handmaid's Tale to be real.
Like, Harrison Ford's character, spoiler, comes back in. He's just sad because Rachel's dead, but he's a father of their baby that they had together. A replicant/human baby.
Okay, yeah.
Like, fine. Totally, could have been a totally interesting concept to be like, hey, Rick and Rachel ran away together and had a baby and they've hidden the baby to protect it from the rest of the world. Because no one would understand and would persecute it. That's plenty.
Right,
That's plenty. But
You're so real for all of this anger, by the way. This is a righteous anger.
So I just wanted to, because I was like, I know I'm holding back on the Rick and Rachel and how bad that is, because it is bad.
Yeah.
But this movie didn't even have the excuse of it being the 80s.
No, it had the excuse of being, like you said, no women on the writing team.
Yeah.
Written, directed, filmed by men.
Like, we're better than this. If you look at the other movies that were released in 2017, we were doing better. You should have known better.
Okay, what I find disturbing about all of this, not that it exists, because men who view women as nothing more than wombs and vaginas exist. They're everywhere. I mean, it might not be most men, but there are certainly plenty of men out there who feel that way. However, why did I not know any of this about this movie? Where's the discourse about the sexism in this film?
I looked up a couple articles because I was like, Blade Runner 2049, horrible, hates women, question mark. And a lot of feminist websites.
Yeah.
But it's still ranked really highly.
Yeah, because I only ever heard good things about that movie.
It was absolute trash.
Gross.
And it was also boring and like 3 hours long.
Jeez. No, I don't have the attention span for that.
I was like, and that's why I came away just going, and I'm so sorry, I would so much rather watch the original if I'm going to watch any of the two Blade Runners. Because if I'm looking at the Blade Runner original, I am looking at something that did shape the sci-fi cyberpunk scene. And despite all of its problems, I can look at it and go, this is a product of the times and we know better now.
And Roy Batty is compelling.
Yes.
There's actually someone to root for in that film.
The characters, the replicant characters, are scary and intimidating, but also, you know, sympathetic and, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? They're enigmatic.
They're compelling, they're dynamic, they're interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The replicants, are just good characters, but they were reduced to nothing in the...
And you know what it is? It's that self-insert type of thing. Like, oh, so you can watch this movie and imagine that you're a hot, lonely guy that every woman who ever meets you just wants to have sex with you.
Yeah.
And then, great, you've reached an audience of...
This is why this movie did so well, because this was for the incels. I hope you enjoyed your stupid fucking movie.
They did.
You will never know the touch of a real woman. I'm going to cut something of this out.
Wait a minute. It's all coming together.
It's all coming together. But they're like, well, what is a real woman?
Yeah.
If I can have sex with my robot girlfriend and she can have a baby, then she's a real woman.
Okay, I'm never going to watch this movie.
No, you're not. That's why I told you not to. I haven't been that mad in a really long time. But
I'm glad I didn't waste my time on it.
I don't think this episode's going to be that long because I kind of crystallized all that into a...
I just want movies that treat women as human beings.
No, that's too much, Laurel. It's too much to ask for. Do you mind if I do my closing statement?
Yeah, I don't have anything more to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I can invent things to say, but I don't have anything more to say.
Fuck you, Denis Villeneuve. Oui, baguette.
Pretty sure you're butchering his name, but also good.
Denis Villeneuve. So, closing thoughts. Did the remake add anything of value to the original, and did it justify the movie being made? No! Burn it at the stake.
Jeez.
Burn it at the stake. The original Blade Runner is a product of its time, a problematic representation of women and minority characters that were genuinely emblematic of the 80s film culture as a whole. Despite the glaring issues that we have discussed, the film still creates sympathetic characters whose wants and desires are displayed through the performances. It is a seminal piece of sci-fi work. And I think I can give it the respect that it deserves for existing and for what it has done to sci-fi and go, okay, here's the problems, but here are the positives that came out of it. Blade Runner 2049 was made in 2017, so it doesn't get the "it was the 80s" excuse. It gets the "you should fucking know better by now." Give the next Blade Runner script to a woman because I am over this. Stop making movies.
Stop making movies.
That's it.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a 20-year purge where only women or like other minority people groups are allowed to make films. Just for like 20 years.
I think that's fair.
Just to balance it out.
I don't want to see a movie by a cis white man for a really long time. I'm gonna cut
just
so
for
much
20
of
years.
this
Just for 20 years. We're gonna oppress them for 20 years. That's all. That's all. I think it's fair.
So if we are sentencing these movies to prison for crimes, I would say Blade Runner, the original, should get 5 years.
Okay, I agree with that.
5 years with the possibility of parole after 3 years for good behavior. Blade Runner 2049, honestly, I think she get the death penalty.
The electric chair.
Electric chair. But, I don't want to promote capital punishment on this podcast, so I'm just going to say life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years served.
Maybe we send them to the outer colonies.
Yeah.
The movie.
You can go.
Yeah.
You can go mine whatever things are out there.
Whatever is happening in outer space that's never explored.
And next week I'm gonna go watch Project Hail Mary, so I can watch seminal piece of sci-fi work that actually, did something good for humanity.
It's so good.
I see, Laurel liked it. That's a good indication if Laurel liked it. I was like, what's my clicking? If you made a piece of sci-fi that Laurel hated, then you did something really wrong.
Yeah, let that be your litmus test.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to make Laurel and I dinner now. I want you to thank you for listening to me rant for God only knows how long this episode's going to be.
That was so valid.
That was so valid. Queen, you've never done anything wrong in your life.
You are perfect. It's giving royal.
Dennis has now been added to my Joss Whedon hate list. So
yeah,
my list of directors that I can't stand and I'm coming for.
I don't understand why male directors are so obsessed with women's fertility. It's freaking weird.
Yeah,
like shut up.
Yeah, shut up. Stay away from my friends. Stay away from their wombs. Stay away from their babies.
Stay away from all women. Frankly,
all women. Yeah, you're done.
You're done. You're done. In fact, if the words fertility enter your mind at any point, you're done.
You're done. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this rant about Blade Runner 2049. And if I offended anyone,
good. Suffer.
Yeah. If you like either of these movies, that's fine. I'm not gonna yuck your yum, not gonna yuck what movies you like, but it is terrible, and you should rethink it. Anyway, as always, everyone, keep it feral. Mwah, kisses. Thank you for listening to another episode of Effing It Up. If you're enjoying these episodes, please like and subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram at _effingitup_ or on our YouTube channel where we post the video format of our show. If you have content that you want us to cover, we want to hear about it. Feel free to DM us on Instagram or leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. Thank you again.